Hi class, I wanted to take a few minutes and kind of talk through a Rogerian outline. So the one that I'm going to use here is probably the conventional way. I feel it's the one that really brings out the purpose and the uniqueness of a Rogerian style strategy. And that is, right, the focus on taking a little extra time to develop that trust, right? To develop the ethos, and all the things that kind of make this strategy different. All right, so the paper then, the main question is, well, the topic is, should colleges filter the internet, right? Should they put these filters in their college libraries or wherever they have a bunch of computers, right? All right, so that's the question. And the stance that this paper is going to take is no, they shouldn't, okay? So in your paper, right, you should begin with the introduction, and it's going to be the same format as always, hook, right, your attention grabber, and basically the purpose of this introduction is to inform, right? Your reader should not know your side after they read the introduction. Right? Now, that's a little bit different from most of the other papers that you're writing, and some Rogerian, right, styles suggest you should still put your thesis in the introduction, but I truly believe that a true Rogerian style paper is going to wait a little bit longer. So, the whole purpose here is to educate, and so you'd want to talk about the issue. Internet filters, are they unnecessary and restrictive, or do they maintain academic focus? All right. Got to explain what's at stake. Right? If these filters were mandated, right, in schools, it might cause a large part of the student body to become, to be upset, alienated, think, well, this is censorship, right, and things like that. And then you would want to talk about the concern that the college has, right? The college wants to maintain the integrity of the school. They don't want any cheaters. They don't want their libraries or other places to become, right, porn hubs where people go in, right, surf all that stuff. They don't want to create an opportunity for students to develop poor study habits, things like that. Okay, then in the next section you are going to talk about the opposition. So for this particular paper, it would be those who are in favor of the filters. Okay, so in a full paragraph, you want to summarize the opposition to show that you fully understand it. Right? And this is important because it's not really valid, right? It's not, you have to, so the way I was taught is you have to be able to say, I understand, before you can say, I disagree. You got to become truly informed on the subject. Okay, then after that, you're going to point out which points are valid, right? Which points in the opposition do you think are valid and why? So here's some examples. So the opposition then would be, maybe we should add that, in favor, right? In favor of internet filters. Okay, why? Well, you might want to point out that kind of the main thing that the college wants to ensure that its computers are being used for learning and academic purposes. And some subpoints. Yes, students should be focused on their academics. True, non-academic sites and porn can be tempting and distracting. And also, expecting study environments to promote studying is fair. That's what they're there for. So all this in about a paragraph or two, maybe 3. All depends on what you think is valid. Okay? Now you transition to your side, right? And you want to kind of let your reader know that you are changing, right? That you are switching gears. And I think one of the best ways to do this is to use a thesis model called the Sheridan-Baker. And I'll show you that in a minute. Or, as it says here, to use a transitional word or expression such as however, because that signals change. Okay, and then you're going to explain why your position is valid. And you're going to defend it with reasons, examples, details, facts. Right? So your main point might be that these filters do not necessarily encourage academic focus. So notice how that kind of speaks directly to the main point of the opposition. Right? The college wants to ensure that its computers are being used for learning and academic purposes. However, you're going to counteract that by saying that these filters do not necessarily encourage it. Okay? So a Sheridan-Baker model thesis might look something like this. Basically what it is, it's a complex sentence. And you begin by subordinating the other side. So in this case, it's the side that you just talked about. So in one sentence, you're going to kind of sum it up, right? Although, and you don't want a comma there. So you're going to use some sort of subordinating conjunction. Although, while, since, because, something like that. Right? Although the college wants to ensure that its computers are being used for learning and academic purposes, I'm going to stop there because, again, you're taking this point right here. Right? So think of it this way. This is what they say. That's what the opposition says. Right? And then right after that little comma, right, because you subordinated that, that means that this is the key, right? This is the most important part of the sentence. That's your claim. Internet filters do not necessarily encourage academic focus. Okay? And some of your points are that students need unrestricted freedom to learn. They need the freedom. They need to explore. Students must develop self-discipline skills while studying. And filtering sites discourage library use, and students need to support the library staff. Okay, so those are your talking points. And after you develop that, again, 2, 3, maybe 4 paragraphs, it all depends. Now, right, this is the big one. Try to find some common ground. Some questions that you can discuss that lead up to that common ground. How might the opposition benefit from including some of the elements of your position? Well, you might want to argue that the autonomy, right, helps to build the creativity. And then again, how might your position, so in this case, anti-internet filter, how might that position benefit from including some of the elements of the other side? Well, some form of scrutiny, right, because they want to filter it, some form of scrutiny might protect the integrity of the school. So I think, with these two things here, you can go, oh, well, this is what we can do. We're going to give a little, right? And here's the compromise. In light of step 4, right, craft a resolution that borrows the best from both sides and offers a negotiated settlement somewhere in the middle. And here we have it. Internet monitoring. It's not filtering, and it's not just say, hey, just go do as you please. Just monitor. Rather than filtering is more reasonable. So that's, in a nutshell, what the Rogerian strategy basically is all about. So I hope this helps, and I look forward to reading your papers.